Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I must say that I am, for no particular reason at all, just because, right? So, of course, you are watching me here on African Diaspora News Channel. You can catch me also on my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube, 5 p.m. Central Time, Sunday through Wednesday, which today is Wednesday, but it's my Friday on my channel. So, it'd be my pleasure for you to come join me. So today we will be talking about the white media will show Black Americans crashing out about losing food stamps for their entertainment. Of course, I'm going to show you a video of a sister who, in my opinion, kind of originated this thought process, if you will, and I totally agree with her. Then I'm going to show you some examples of how they've done that just in modern day time using Black people as their entertainment. But while we wait for everybody to come on here, just a couple of things. First, I will take about the first 15 minutes, give or take, to kind of introduce and talk about why we're here. Then I'm going to get into the comment section and have a great conversation with you all. But while we're waiting again, if you haven't already downloaded the African Diaspora News app, please do so. Go to your Play Store on your phone. Download it. It's very simple and easy. Of course, it's a tiny bit of an investment, but what is it nowadays, right? Pretty soon they're going to be charging us for air. But of course, it is Black owned by us. As you know, YouTube or Facebook is not, because that's why I shared this, is not owned by us at all. So they can do whatever they want, whenever they want to our platform. We hope that they won't, right? We don't think they will, but just in case, you'll need to know where to find us. And even if they don't, right, you need to go over there and get the app, because we can't keep complaining about what they do to us or won't do for us. But when we have something for us, we like, well, I need to see, and all this other stuff. Nah, stop making excuses. Go on over there as soon as you can and download it. I promise you, you will be glad that you did, because it's about time we have our own platform so we can say what we want. Right now, there's certain things I be wanting to say, but I be like, I bet not, right? Because they'll snatch this whole thing down. So anyway, who else is on here while we wait? Brother Troy, how you doing? Glad that you are well. Young Dolphin, what's going on with you? I know I had to hurry up and switch this because I noticed that I had it for 11 p.m. and I had to switch it for 11 a.m. So forgive me in that. Anyway, again, while we wait, B baby, what's going on? Did y'all hear? And Sister Sunlight, how you doing? Did y'all hear about those monkeys that got loose yesterday? I guess they were traveling from Tulane University, like 6 monkeys from a lab, and they were going to somewhere in Florida, and somewhere in between there in Mississippi, I think it was Jasper something, Mississippi, the truck crashed and the monkeys got loose. Okay, now you might be thinking, well, what's the big deal with the monkeys getting loose? Well, those monkeys had something funky. They had herpes. They had some, flus and all kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, why would they have that? I guess they're testing them or whatever, but they got loose. So it sounds like they caught 5 of them and they did what they need to do with them. And then they finally caught the last one. But people was like, this literally sounds like the beginning of an outbreak. But yeah, that was pretty crazy and scary and kind of funny all at the same time. So anyway, I'm glad that they neutralized that situation. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time. So anyway, as y'all know, we're going to keep in the same vein of the shutdown and all of the fallout. Of course, one of the biggest conversations about the fallout from the shutdown, which means that Congress could not agree on a spending bill. And it's about 29 days so far that the government has been shut down, where a whole host of people have been laid off. A lot of programs have been halted. Food stamp program is one of them, where many millions of Americans will not be getting their benefits deposited for the month of November, which is Saturday, right? Well, anyway, there's a sister that I saw online speaking about not crashing out, because you know how they like to do us, right? They like to put a microphone in front of our face and ask us questions, and they get lucky enough to get one. And I'm going to illustrate that in just a second. But here's what she has to say about it.
Nieces and nephews, if a news station comes up to you and they want to interview about losing your SNAP benefits, decline the interview. If I see you on a news station, I'm going to find you and we're going to have us a good old come to Jesus moment with Auntie. They are using us. They want to make the narrative that Black people are so worried about losing SNAP benefits, like we're the ones who get the most in SNAP benefits, and we're not. White women are. And the people who are going to crash out when November 1st happens and they can't swipe their card and it says insufficient funds on their cards are going to be the white folk, not the Black folk, because we used to struggling. We used to struggle. We used to going to the church and getting food. We used to having community and people having a garden and showing up and making sure that families don't go without. These other people ain't used to that. They're not about that life. So they're going to be the ones, not to saying that we ain't going to hurt, but we know how to navigate these waters. They've never had to do it before. So when they crash out, they're going to want to blame it on Black folks. So don't give them the ammunition by you being all up on the news talking about some, oh yeah, I'm going to go steal, I'm going to go do this. No, you're not. Because we got our people.
All right, so let's remove her. And she's 1,000% right. We do not need to be crashing out. Of course, we've seen a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm going to be doing this, that, the other. I'm going to go steal. And it's like, please do not do that, right? And please do not get on the news admitting that you're going to do that. Now, I don't know if these people are joking because, you know, on the internet, people like to joke a lot. And then sometimes when, you know, they get that on the door, like, yeah, we need to talk to you about that post that you made. It's like, I was just playing. They're like, well, we ain't playing with you. So please do not do that. But as she said, they gonna come, you know, sticking microphones in your face and all that other stuff. And to her other point, yeah, it's gonna be white women. It ain't gonna be us per se, because we do know how to make it do what it do, right? Make $1 out of 15 cents or whatever it is. We just figure it out. But we need to also have the conversation one day about us not being used to struggling, because we shouldn't really be bragging about that. But nevertheless, as I was thinking about what she was saying, I was like, you know what? She got a point, and I'm going to show you why. Now, I don't even need to explain to y'all who these people are, right? Y'all know who these people are. You know why you know? Because the media and everybody else admittedly has made a mockery out of these people. Okay, now these are the images that were shown all over the news. Okay, now the first sister there you see is Sweet Brown. I can ask y'all right now, what is Sweet Brown known for saying? I'm going to see if somebody will put it in the comment section really quick. I'll give you about 10 seconds to see if somebody will know, because obviously you know, right? Well, 10 seconds is about up. But y'all know she said, ain't nobody got time for that. Now, of course, every last person you see on here, they were being in. There you go, Lady Montrons. I hope I said that right. Yep, y'all got it. So as everybody on here were being interviewed for something serious. Now, Sweet Brown, there was a fire, right? A fire took place in her apartment complex. And she said, I thought it was a barbecue, you know, and all of that. And from that, all these songs went viral about using her voice. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I thought it, you know, it was a fire. There was a bar. So y'all know her story. Of course, there's Antoine Dotson. He was also talking about something serious, was he not? What was he saying? He's like, you better hide your kids and your wives, because they doing something to everybody around here. Of course, y'all know it sounds like some, you know, predator climbed up into his sister's, I think it was window, and tried to, you know, do something to her. And, you know, he ran him off. Of course, y'all see the microphone stuck in his face, and, you know, they made him go viral with songs. And then these two sisters here, their names are Hazel London and Geronda Henderson. Now it was a nightclub in Louisiana, I think it was, where there was a pew-pewing. It was some wedding reception where 3 people got hit with bullets. And now they went viral for saying, if you can't go to Bella Noche, where can you go? So that went viral. Again, that was a very serious situation. But there you see the news was interviewing them and everybody went wild. They made remixes to it. And of course, lastly, this brother here at the bottom, my brother Charles Ramsey, he went viral for rescuing a white girl who was held captive, I guess, by his neighbor for years. And he said things like, oh, I used to eat ribs with him, or whatever the case is. And, you know, we just didn't know. And all of that. Now, the brother, and I was saying in all these cases, they were very animated. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's windy outside. I'm not going to lose power because I'm hooked up, but it's very windy. Anyway, so they all went viral for very serious things. In fact, Brother Charles, he, you know, when he was asked about it, he started to cry because he's like, wow, he said, I knew something was wrong when a white girl ran into the arms of a black man who was a stranger. And so again, the media took that, and out of all the people they interviewed, they put them up. So let me remove them because I know all of y'all are very familiar with their particular stories. So I wanted to highlight that, especially with this food stamp thing, because obviously they, especially being white people, attribute the food stamp situation to Black people, right? The welfare queen, they don't want to work, they lazy, this, that, and the other, and they keep going on and on, especially if you go on X, which I really hate that platform, but they continuously try to draw the correlation between food stamp recipients and Black people when we know that they, as the sister said, the white woman is the biggest recipient. But unfortunately, yeah, you're going to see the media try to get Black people on there crashing out because it is their entertainment, right? Our emotions become their entertainment. And admittedly, Black, people, especially Black Americans, we are very animated. As y'all can see, I'm a very animated person. Okay. I don't know if y'all have seen some of my shorts here on the African Diaspora News Channel. You might see me go or something like that because I'm very animated. I don't get to choose the thumbnail for whatever reason, but they use our emotions for their entertainment. Also, we, in a sense, become clowns for the crowd. The crowd is their audience, right? And again, it's very serious situations, but they kind of, use that one of them, ain't nobody got time for that. Because they know that'll go viral, and they're not necessarily laughing at us. I mean, with us, rather, they're laughing at us, okay? And the other thing is, too, especially with this food stamp thing, what I've learned is we should never really make it a habit to complain in public. Do we have complaints? Yes. But to get on the microphone and say, well, my God, I don't know what I better do. Because they looking for that viral moment. They looking for one of us to say something ridiculous, Well, they better give me those pig feet. If they don't give me them pig feet, I'll go take them. I might go run up on a pig and take their feet off. Something stupid. They looking for that moment. So let's not, to that sister's point, let's not give them that. They don't deserve that. We have our issues, but we don't need to run and get it to the microphone. Because admittedly, there's a lot of us that have a lot of great, intelligent things to say, but they ain't gonna put us on there. They ain't gonna put us on there if we say, well, did you know that the white woman, she's the biggest recipient of food stamps? So why are you asking me how many white women did you put a microphone in her face when she's balled up in the corner crying, don't know how she gonna feed her children? Are you doing that? Why you just do it? See, they ain't gonna get us on there because they don't want people to really be like, yeah, that's a good point. They always showed, these caricatures, if you will, of our Black people for entertainment. So anyway, I want to see what y'all have to say about that. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, this weather is crazy. It's really windy and I don't like it. So anyway, let's see. Where did I leave off? Lafayette, did I say hello to you? Not hello. And MKS, what's going on with you? Says, how can they, he said, the very, and you have that in parentheses, Black diaspora together, connect all together worldwide. So are you saying, how can we connect the diaspora together worldwide? I think that's what you're asking. It's not hard to do, as we all come from the same, being, which is the mother of civilization, was discovered to be a Black woman. And so, yeah, we are Black people all around the world. The idea is, I guess, that one day we come together because, in a sense, we have the same oppressor. We have the same issues, whether it's a lack of knowledge of self, lack of resources, or the abundance of having an overseer still, as far as white supremacy control our every move and thought process. So, yeah, if we would unite, that is, I guess, utopian in a sense. Then we can help solve the issues that we have. I don't know if that was where you were going with it, but welcome. Albie Chill, how you doing? Thank you, Sister Sunlight, for the compliment on my lipstick. Lux Bringer, how you doing? Says, yep, heard about them. Say, yeah, y'all heard about all them people. Olga, how you doing? Says, what a coincidence. And so what you saying? How you doing? Says, popcorn, anyone? Yeah, I like popcorn. Luxburger says, surprise, surprise, a bunch of those running around. So you're talking about the people who want to get in front of the microphone? Oh, or I don't know what you're talking about at this point because I'm behind. Anyway, Wiz, how you doing? Says, they're the ones crashing out. We're just chilling. Well, there's some of us that's crashing out. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's understandable, a crash out, right? If you're dependent upon those things, yeah, I can see the concern. But especially us as Black people, we have learned how to acclimate to certain situations. We have always heard, about the struggle, enduring, everything's going to be all right. Because, of course, we learn to attach to the higher power and have faith in things, understanding that crashing out is really not going to do any good. So we're, really good with that. But them, not so much. They haven't really had to endure a lot of the things that we've had to endure. So, yes, MKS says Blacks to unite. Okay. Yeah, strong together, all that. Kenneth, how you doing? It says Esau E, bad B times T. Y'all are here talking esoterically. Y'all need to come on and be layman for your girl, okay? All these, esoteric things. Ain't nobody got time for that. Francesca, how you doing? Says they're crashing out on TikTok. Yeah, I've seen it, right? But to that sister's point, y'all know what they gonna do. They're gonna stick microphones in our faces, waiting for that, for that viral moment. Lafayette, it says AIDS failed, SARS failed, the vid, if you will, failed. Bio warfare is real, so they say, right? But yeah, what was those monkeys doing? What was they doing to those monkeys, and how did they get herpes? Carl, how you doing? Says, I feel terrible for all those who truly need it. It's always a few bad apples and political sociopaths that ruin things for the whole bunch. That is absolutely true. And those people, no shade to Sweet Brown and all of them. I mean, that's just who they are. I love people being who they are. That doesn't bother me, because I know everybody does not walk around saying, ew, it's a nice, fine day, isn't it? Ew, oh, that fire. Oh, yes, it was a fire. It ignited. And oh my gosh, I thought maybe somebody was making barbecue at 3 a.m. Everybody don't run around talking like that, including myself, right? So I don't have a problem with them. But yeah, when you see that kind of stuff, they want their people to believe that, Black people are not intelligent. That's how most of them are. So yeah, Lutzberger, Bringer rather, he says, y'all already talking about stealing. I don't know who this y'all is. Blind Focus, how you doing? Says a lot of our people do not have discernment, and that's not true too, because a lot of our people do have discernment, but we have to be cognizant of the images and the narrative that the media, including ourselves, okay, we got to bring ourselves into the fold, that we put out there about ourselves. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a content creator, I guess, but if I was to start this show saying, today we're going to learn about how to save money. If I made that a title, we're going to learn about how to save money. Or we're going to talk about that good Black woman or Black man that's actually doing nice things in the community. It'd probably be 5 people here, including myself. Because we know that the salacious things, get people involved. Right. So now to your point about discernment, that also means that we have to kind of, and I say we, I mean society as a whole, we have to play up that Black people ain't got no sense. They can't discern right from wrong. They just kind of go along with it. That's not most Black people. That's the people they choose to show. That's the Black people they choose to illustrate on the news, because for them, they make money off of Black people too, mostly perceived and I guess real Black degradation. It's money for them. They ain't gonna have people show up and they say, I want to tell y'all about a good Black woman or a good Black man who's doing great things in the Black community. They don't nobody want to hear about that. Now we do, but overall people want to give me the dirt, right? Get me the I want the filth, because that's the way society is designed, and it's sad. B Baby says they want clout, but then pale face people will crash out for real. Yeah. And understandable, right? Nobody wants the dilemma of how they're going to feed their family next month. Nobody wants that. Truth to Power, how you doing? Says good morning as usual. He says white want to be entertained by Black folks hollering about SNAP benefits. Don't be used by being the face of desperation. There you go. Because as that sister said, we figure it out. We do. Yolanda, how you doing? It says she's right. We have struggled all of our lives. And yes, we need to talk about not doing that, right? Let's not make that a normal thing to where, well, we used to struggling. I'm used to, digging in the couch cushions and trying to find some money to feed my family. We need to like make that a thing of the past. Now, would it go away completely? No, but I guess we could. It's kind of double edged. We can be proud that we are overcomers, but let's overcome and let's tell that story more. Does that make sense? XX Black Out XX, how you doing? Pathway to New Horizons, how you doing? Says, please don't be social media talking about you going to steal and break the ad. Don't do that. Because especially nowadays with the DOJ, they using that stuff as evidence. I don't know if y'all saw a couple of weeks ago where they went on to a young brother's TikTok and he was talking about something completely different. I think Iraq or something. And somebody photoshopped it and made it seem like he was talking about targeting ICE agents in Chicago, and he was not. But the DOJ under Kristi Noem, I think it is, basically said, we coming after you. Like, it was a joke. It wasn't even talking about that. But now we have to be mindful of the things that we joke about because they with the stuff at the DOJ. So be careful. So yes, I see y'all all. Guess what I was saying? Brian, how you doing? It says, crisis actors for real. You think they are crisis actors? So you think somebody woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in a house fire and said, it's showtime. I mean, I get the whole that there are crisis actors, I guess, out there, but are you saying that they were crisis actors? See, I'm one of those people I like to try to connect the dots. Because to say that Sweet Brown was a crisis actor, but also imply that somebody was like, okay, we're going to go strike a match, light her apartment complex on fire, and then she's going to be the one. She's going to be the one to come out there and, I don't know. Troy says, oh, good Lord, there's a fire. That's what she said. Jacqueline, how you doing? Says, are there still jobs out there since Donald Trump fired people? Well, they are, but then there's a lot of people losing their jobs. Amazon, they said, is one of the biggest layoffs. And recently, I guess, laid off 14,000, I think it was upper management or corporate offices or something like that. 14,000 because AI is going to now do the job. So are there jobs out there? Yeah. Taco Bell's a job. And listen, I'm not shading anybody working at Taco Bell, but I can't pay no bills on Taco Bell, especially if you live here in Texas. Minimum wage is $7.25. So you talking about after taxes per day, you looking at, I don't know, $30-something you bringing home a day? What am I going to do with that? I can't even pay attention with what they paying people on minimum wage. So there's jobs, but what kind of jobs? That's the question. Official C, how you doing? Says, you do realize that most of them get paid by news media to act a fool on camera. I'm not saying they don't, but I guess the point that I'm making, see, is everybody getting paid to act a fool on media, on the news? Is everybody? I would venture to say not everybody, right? And we're not dealing in absolutes here. When you deal in absolutes, you kind of get into murky waters. So we're not saying everybody is doing it. We're not saying everybody is not doing it. But I think we can safely say that it is being done. And somehow they just happen to catch, some pretty lively characters and they make that go off. So, yeah. Let's see. Who else haven't I seen? I'm going to catch up. Brogu, how you doing? Says, hey, Demetra, as Black people, we need to show ourselves in a dignified way. Stop clowning on camera for them folks. They love to show our image as a bunch of fools. Our people's images are important. That's true. They make money off of that. And again, I'm not mad at anybody who's animated. I love animated people. I really do. If that's who you are naturally, I don't have a problem with that. Because again, in those situations, those are very serious situations. None of that was a laughing matter. And I don't even think those people are trying to make it a laughing matter. But unfortunately, there are entities like the news that will exploit those people and their emotions. Some people deal with tragedy very differently. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Crystal, how you doing? He says, dead giveaway. And that one brother, how you doing? Says they are all so AI generated videos. Don't bite on it. Move along. FBA. Well, I mean, you can move along if you want to. And a lot of videos are AI, but there's a lot that's not. And one thing, one of the problems that I have with AI is a lot of times people cannot decipher what is AI and what is not. I think I've gotten pretty good at doing it, but there's a lot of people who would never know that it's AI because I have people share stuff with me all the time. I'm like, no, that look like AI, but they don't know. So that's kind of a problem too. But everything is not AI. See, we got to get out of, because what happens is we become dismissive. I don't worry about that because that's just AI. And again, I'm not mocking you. Don't mistake me in that. But we got to get out of trying to dismiss things. Oh, everybody's a crisis actor. Oh, that's AI. Because everything ain't. Because when we get into that, it was like, well, that doesn't deserve a discussion. Let's move on. Okay. Well, what do we? And I'm going to ask you, and hopefully I get to your answer. What should we move on to? If you don't mind me asking. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? And JJ, did I see you? If not, hello. He says that also is how we get these horrible reality shows. Come on now. Hollywood loves to show blacks as stereotypes. Yes. Oh, we talked about Lincoln Perry, Step and Fetch It. He was a giant stereotype for Black Americans, the laziest man in the world. White folks made him the first Black millionaire actor in America off of a stereotype of being the laziest man in the world. So yeah, they like to do that. Let's see. Gary, how you doing? Says the clown media never portrayed us positively 60s, 70s, 80s until today. Nope. And they never intend. How you doing? Says fishing, rabbit, chicken, and wild hens. So you're saying that's what you should do in order to eat? Yeah, if that's your thing, you want to be out there it's skinning rabbits, I will not say anything about it. Just for me, I'm gonna just stick to the beans and rice if it come down to that. But that might be the California girl in me, Let's see. Albie chill. See, my power went out, but I'm still here because I'm hooked up. So anyway, because it's really windy out there. Albie chill, how you doing? Says Tim Pool has been having a field day with this, and I don't know who that is, but I bet. Jerron, how you doing? Says I love our people. I do too. December White, how you doing? Let's see, who else haven't I seen? See, my power came back on. This see, in California, we don't really deal with this. Like out here, it's crazy. But anyway, we'll get through it. Love, peace, how you doing? Randy C in the building, hope you're doing well. Who else haven't I seen? Sheila, how you doing? And I know I'm so behind. Amani, what's going on with you? Mike Nice, did I say hello to you? Because, I see you all the time, so I'll be forgetting. But if I didn't, hello. And Crystal says, do you have moderators? Demetra, we have a troll in the chat. There are moderators for the African Diaspora News Channel. I just don't see any here today. But I can block them from my end. One thing about me, I will block if they get to acting too crazy. I don't mind people, pushing the envelope a little bit. But if you up in here acting crazy, yeah, I'm going to block you. Just so we all know. Hey, Mr. Ernest, how you doing? Grand rising to you as well. Truth to Power says, are you auditioning for Aunt Jemima Gone with the Wind Roll? Am I auditioning for that? I don't know if you're asking me that, so I don't, because I was going to ask, was your mom doing it? But I don't know if you're asking me that or you were asking somebody else that. So I won't say that, but I want to be careful. So if you could clarify. Blue Waters, how you doing? You says, hope I spelled it right. I'm driving Grand Rising. You came close enough. Francesca says, this is a cover up for something bigger. Stay woke. It absolutely is. You know what I was thinking this morning? I said, it's funny how people are talking more about the food stamp situation than the Epstein stuff now. So those people are probably glad that it's a distraction going on. Real numbers, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see, Clay, how you doing? It says working through Trump, even though he's a moron. Okay, you'll get through it. We'll all get through it. Black people especially are the most resilient people on the planet. If anybody could get through it, we can. We have. Our people got through slavery, Jim Crow, and I know it's still kind of going on, but we got through all of that, and we'll continue to get through. David, how you doing? Says that's why we should always stock up on staples like bagged beans, flour, rice, etc. Yep, if you know, you know. And if you don't have those things when it go down, I don't even know what to tell you because they're not even terribly expensive right now anyway, right? But they may become that because stores might say, oh, they coming up in here making a run on beans and rice and stuff. Let's jack that up. You can get a bag of, rice or whatever, $2, $3. Some beans for $1, just depending. So yeah, if you don't at least have that, maybe you just didn't want it. I don't know. Who else haven't I seen? Cortese, how you doing? Says just watch MAGA will do Shay's Rebellion 2.0 soon. Not sure necessarily what that is. Forgive that beeping. That's my alarm. When the power goes out, my alarm, does what it's doing. Anyway, Jackie, how you doing? Says Demetra. Like I don't know my name because of the way she spelled it, but Demetra says, what's the name of the photo behind you? I'm glad you asked. I love when everybody asks that. That is Villa Lararo, Madam C.J. Walker's estate. I don't know, somewhere in the 1920s, I guess. And that's some of the people that she employed via her business, Madam C.J. Walker's hair products and things like that. And I like that photo to remind us of what we can do when we have absolutely nothing, because Madam C.J. Walker had absolutely nothing, and she built an empire. That's still, in a sense, around today. That house is still owned by her family. But if she can do it, we can do it. She's the daughter of a slave. So that's what that photo signifies. And thank you for asking. Albie Chill says the movie Monsters, Inc. was a kid's movie, but behind that veil, it showed how the society was powered by negativity and fear. Yes, I remember taking my daughter to see that movie when she was a child. December White says, Word Up Wednesday already sounds like a good midweek podcast. So you're talking to Mike. Yes, indeed. And thank you and welcome. Loretta Memphis, how you doing? Says, by prayers, is that all? I think you meant my prayers. Is all that all be blessed? But the Bible says when you disobey the law, you will be cursed. Get ready to see curses executed on steroids. I'll buy it. I'll buy into that. I definitely think we're seeing a whole lot of that. I mean, especially if you talk about United States as a whole. It cannot do what it has done, especially to Black Americans and a whole host of other people, and think that you will not suffer the consequences of that, because you got to pay for the things that you've done. What you put out there will come back to you. It's called karma, the laws of the universe. It says that a lot, in the Bible, if that's what you adhere to. So yeah, Love Big, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Edward, what's going on with you? Reality, how you doing? It says, I have learned businesses will lose lots of business when food stamps are denied. All will feel the pain. Yeah, it's a trickle down, trickle up, trickle left, right. It's a trickle. Everybody's gonna feel it. So again, for people running around gloating, talking about, that's why your food stamps. Okay, you just keep waiting for it. People continuously not getting their food stamps is going to have a huge ripple effect. So don't laugh. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, don't laugh, learn. Because if you laugh, then one day you might be getting laughed at, and you ain't going to find it funny when people laugh at your misfortune. So don't do that. I personally do not like to see people gloat and laugh. It's like, you acting like that couldn't happen to you. I don't care how much money you got, what position you have. Misfortune happens to everybody. So do not laugh. Southern Lady Brown, how you doing? Says Black First, we should know who our enemies are. We should, right? Monty, what's going on with you? Yeah, $7.25 an hour here, minimum wage. So what can I do with that? A lot of people can't even afford to go work for $7.25. I got to put gas in the car. I got to spend some money somehow preparing to go to work. So I'm going to spend 8 hours at a job paying me $7.25 an hour. I could think of a whole lot of things I could do without going to punch a clock to make $35, or whatever it is after taxes. There's a lot of things I could do. I could collect cans, and baby, I would. If I had to collect a can to pay a bill, oh, yes, I would. I sure would do that. So, a lot of people can't afford to go work for $7.25. Baby Goat says the idea of crisis actors is so flawed. How are they still working as actors if their faces are viral and very recognizable? See, that's a thinker right there. If I'm acting, might I put a disguise or something? So I like what people think. Let's be logical here. Are they getting a bag where they're only doing it once? Like, how does that work? See, we got to stop oversimplifying things so we could just dismiss it and go away. It's not how it works. Natasha, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Arthur Janae, how you doing? It says minimum wage in California is $16.50. That's how high the cost of living is here. And you know what? $16.50 ain't nothing in California. You actually need, they say for minimum wage to really work, be effective so people could take care of themselves, it should be about $25 to $35 an hour. California, depending on where you live, you need 175, 200 or whatever thousand a year just to live comfortably. Even if that, without having to go bust a bunch of hustles. So 1650 is cute in like the year 2000 or whatever. But now, it helps, but it ain't going to solve the problem. So yeah, Blazing Phoenix, how you doing? Says strongly doubted. And I'm sorry, I don't know what that's in. I know it's something I said, but I'm so behind, so forgive me. Christopher Perkins, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jackie says, Demetra, what's that? Also, you asked that, and I took forever to get to you. So Linda, how you doing? Says, yep, I can tell the difference. Erica, how you doing? Says, minimum wage in Seattle is $20.76. Meanwhile, Amazon and Microsoft are doing mass layoffs. Yes. Yep, and they hire a lot of people, especially Amazon. They do a lot of hiring. Mike G, how you doing? Says, my Black grandma needs stamps. Stop speaking for everyone. I'm not speaking for nobody, right? I'm not telling people who don't need stamps or whatever. So apparently, they say 42 million Americans need food stamps. So I'm never going to be one to tell people what they need or don't need, right? Right now, I don't need them. But I'll tell you what, if I ever needed to get a food stamp and there was nothing else I could do, oh yeah, I'm going to apply. I'm going to be... I'm just keeping it real with you. If I ever got to the dire straits where I needed a food stamp, even like for a month, I'll apply. So I'm not shaming nobody. There's no shame in that. So please do not mistake me for, saying people who and who doesn't need food stamps. That's not my job, morally or legally. Let's see who else haven't I seen. Tony, how you doing? Amazing. Lovecraft, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Kenneth just says, good morning. Love your show. My FBA sister. Well, I love you too. Thank you so much for being here. Silver Phoenix. Hello. Georgia, what's going on? She says, but they not going, I think meant to do that. Most of their people are really the ones that are affected. Yeah. They want to show their people as, the victors. They're very strong. They don't need anything. But yeah, they crashing out too. I talked about a white man last week, I think on my show, who was like, listen, me and my wife work or whatever. That's the other misconception, that people who are getting food stamps do not work. I think most people, I don't know, a lot of them anyway, work. They're what you call the working poor, where they work, but they don't make enough money to put food on the table and enough food to consider it to be nutritious. So yeah, but they will be affected. Mostly. Jay, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well. Mad Dog in the building. Hope that you are doing well. Mike, he says, watch yourself Wednesday. See, Mike, he's a moderator on my show. We break out the razor blades and lemon juice sometimes, but it's all with love. Crystal say, I think all of the grocery stores are going to have security walking through the stores starting Saturday. And it's sad, but I understand it. If I was a business owner and, people were in dire straits and they might make a run on my store, I'd have a security there. But I don't know if I'd have them rough them up or nothing. It's like, don't do that. We don't want to call the police on you, but I understand protecting your business assets. So hopefully we don't see a lot of that. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? He says, the reckoning is coming for America. Get back to basics. Know how to live with less and build together. For you, by you. And for you, by you means like our app that we have here, African Diaspora News, that you can go get on your Play Store. For us, by us. So Randy, how you doing? Says, Demetra, you really came through. For Phil last night when he was muted. Yeah, he was muted. I often watch from my television in my room, not really on my phone. But so when he brought the video back in, and it happens sometimes, he was on mute. It was for a couple minutes. So I called him, but Brother Kellen was calling him as well. And he kept saying, okay, Sister Demetra, okay. Now, it wasn't, I had hung up or whatever. But yeah, I thought y'all wanted to hear what he had to say. So yeah, it happens sometimes. But it was a great show, nevertheless. Gustavia, hope I said that right. How you doing? Who else is on here? Okay, so here we go. And Lachelle, how you doing? Cortese says Demetra Kaye's rebellion was done by angry white farmers for similar things going on today, bad markets and lack of support. Granted, I think it won't happen or it won't end the same. Okay, well, that's interesting. I have to look into that. As I could see where there would be a rebellion, especially now that people going to be eating Argentinian beef. You know, the cattle ranchers here in America is like, wait a minute, Trump, we voted for you. And now you run around buying beef from Argentina after you gave them 40 billion large. Now we got to be trying to compete with them to sell beef. Now listen, I don't know if y'all been to the store lately, which you probably have. Beef ain't cheap. So they struggling to sell the beef anyway, but now you're going to be bringing in somebody else's beef between your teeth. That's crazy. Hope I didn't go too far with that one. Lachelle, did I say? I say hello to you, but I say hello again. Roz, how you doing? Hope that you're doing well. Erica says cutting folks off food stamps now going in the holiday season is going to really hurt retail this year. Oh yeah, not for the consumer, for the businesses. They're the ones that's going to be like, oh my God, we are going to be in the red. It's where Black Friday comes from. It has a whole host of other meanings, right? I know Black Friday pertained to us as well during slavery, but Black Friday means that the businesses are now trying to get into the black by having these so-called sales to get people in there to buy stuff that they jack up and make you think psychologically that you're getting a good deal. But yeah, they're going to feel the pinch. And if something tells me they're going to be saying, hey, Trump, it's cool. We was mad on everything until our bottom line start to be affected. So that's going to be very interesting. Michael Muhammad, how you doing? It says work cheerfully. Yes, work cheerfully. I totally agree with you. Be grateful for the job, right? Until you can find something else. Let's see. Silver Fox. I think I had said your name wrong before, but Silver Fox says them folks love to point fingers on Black people, are guilty. That's why they're deflecting and crying the victim cards. They always do that, though. They don't never see themselves as the negative ones. They never have. Of course, we talk about it a lot here. That Neely Fuller Jr., God rest his soul, he always talked about how white supremacy cannot exist without the degradation and demonization of Black people. That's not how white supremacy works. They cannot say, and I did a video on it, it's not out yet, but white supremacy cannot talk about them truly being supreme, like, oh, we're great, we did this, we did that, we did this, because anything they say, for the most part, that they did, you can always point to somebody else. Usually that looks like us, right? Oh, yeah, that's cool, but we did it first. Now, I did look, and it looks like mayonnaise did indeed originate with them. So maybe they could take credit for that. I don't know. Joseph, how you doing? Says, how did you become so wise, so smart? My mama, I don't know. My daddy. I don't know. I kind of, I don't know if I shouldn't when people say that I'm smart, because there's so much I don't know, right? I don't know if I'm smart as much as I know how to think, but I thank you for that. I thank you so much for thinking that I'm smart. But I pull from a lot of people. My mama and my daddy, God. Lauren, how you doing? Says Amazon, UPS, etc. have announced 50,000 layoffs this week. Unemployment keeps rising. Nothing is cheaper. Every jobs report gets worse. Bankrupt farms. The value of the dollar has dropped 11% in 2025. All those things are true, and it's going to get worse. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Kenneth, he says, I feel sorry for the people that are not getting food stamps at work, enjoying your show. Well, thank you. Don't get in trouble now. But thank you for watching me at work. But how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Benita, what's going on with you? It says there are many small towns in the U.S. where the entire town is on SNAP. Oh, yeah. And guess what? A lot of those people voted for this. But they didn't vote for that. What's going on with them? But they voted because they thought it was going to happen to everybody else. And lo and behold. So, yeah. Afrileaks, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says, better worry about food. Farmers not producing enough will lead to starvation. That is true. So Dia got you some good old beans and rice to hold you over. I know it's not sexy per se to eat beans and rice all the time, but you can zhuzh them up. You can make them sweet. You can make them savory. There's a lot of things you can do with beans and rice. I shared a book/video, The Hidden Secrets to Oriental Wealth, yesterday with you all. And in that, and you can find it on YouTube, The Hidden Secrets of Oriental Wealth. It's on YouTube. He talks about I think he said the penny's worth or 2 pennies worth of cereal. So he broke down how much cereal is actually worth when you get it from the store. Because it says, you got to account for the box, the wrapping and stuff, for the manufacturing of it, the truck drivers and all that they have to spend to just get it to the shelf. And by the time you get it, it's only about 2 cents or so worth of cereal. Because for one, it's not nutritious for you, especially American cereal. So he talks about what the Asians do with rice. He says we have rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Says for breakfast, we make it savory, right? We might put some milk in there, some sugar, cinnamon, or whatever. But he says that's more nutritious than the junk and the chemicals that you're going to be buying from the shelf. So I say all that to say, beans and rice sounds kind of on its own. But if you're creative and you learn what to do with beans and rice, you can make them exciting for a while. Jay, how you doing? Says mostly immigrants on EBT. President Biden gave it to him. I don't think there's mostly immigrants on EBT. I don't know the numbers, but I wouldn't think that is mostly immigrants on EBT. And if they're mostly immigrants, we also got to account that there are a lot of immigrants that are legal here. Because when we say immigrants, now we're kind of making them interchangeable for illegal immigrants. But there are immigrants here legally, and there are immigrants that are here illegally. So we have to make sure we keep that in mind. Buckhorse, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? The Teflon Sean, how you doing? Says peace and love to the FBA family. Says 718 South Bronx. All right now. Joyful Cheetah, how you doing? Says love to you all from the UK. All right now, across the pond. Glad that you're here. Sunlight says buy local and Black businesses only, no Thanksgiving. Yeah, again, I don't celebrate holidays. I just don't. But Thanksgiving, family time, yes, good old game of spades, all of that. So yeah. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? Adam, how are you? Says Joe Biden opened the borders, letting millions of illegal immigrants in without explanation. It feels like a step up from Trump to use ICE and the military. There's something bigger happening here. Yeah, because like you said, it's this big juxtaposition, if you will. The Biden administration is like, come on over, everybody. And now Trump was like, we're getting them all out of here. 2 million a year. That's the goal. We're almost at the end of the year. I don't know if he'll be successful, which is probably why you see them acting in such an austere manner with people who they deem to be here illegally. Of course, you know that the Supreme Court said that, yeah, they can, in a sense, racially profile people. If they look like an immigrant, yeah, you can go rough them up. And then I guess they have to prove to you that they're not that. So, yeah, something deeper is going on. Yickelboy says, if they do this too long, these stores will go bankrupt because people are going to get used to them not existing and they'll figure things out for themselves. Y'all remember last week we talked about Edward L. Bernays, who was the father of propaganda, a father of public relations. We talked about him last week. Well, he, in a sense, helped the American consumer get to where we are. I need to go to the grocery store, right? Instead of saying, well, I got some in the pantry, I'll use what I got there. In the documentary that I talk about a lot as well, called The Century of the Self. The Century of the Self. You can find that on YouTube. It's a 4-part series, about 4 hours long. I watched and listened to it a couple of times. But it talked about how Edward L. Bernays taught the housewife back in the day, because back in the day, housewives used to make their own cakes, right? The egg, the flour, the sugar, the vanilla, all that from scratch. And he presented to them the box cake. All you got to do is just crack an egg or two and put it in a mix and voila. But at first the women were like, oh no, I would never feed my family such a thing. And then once they kept ramming that propaganda into the psyche of the housewife, they said, you're right. I could save some time. Let me just get the box cake. And now we got Betty Crocker, and all these other things. So I say all that to say, that was by design, that they got people from figuring things out for themselves as far as not being consumers to making us consumers. Oh, I got to run to the store. So yeah, this could help us unlearn that though, right? So yeah, Mad Dog said this is a wake-up call for us. We don't care how white privilege is failing. Yeah, never had anything to do with us, right? Derek, how you doing? Says you're smart because you're open-minded. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Samuel, how you doing? Says Sam from Chicago. Says the mainstream media rather always want to use the Black community as the face and fearmonger us to vote blue no matter who. Yep, and we got to say why. Because a Smurf is blue. The Blue Man Group in Vegas is blue. A crayon is blue. Do I vote for that? So yeah, when we start asking questions, then they'll stop saying such silly things. Mo Cancer, how you doing? So Demetra, I always love your hairstyle. Well, thank you. So especially when you rock your fro, I have always wanted to tell you that. Not getting off the subject. Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I like my afro too, but I can't wear it all the time because of the weather. But when it gets cold, I wear my afro one time on y'all on here for y'all because it's getting colder now. It's like in the 60s here. Yesterday it was almost 90. Go figure. Andre says mayonnaise was created to mask the taste and scent of rotting meat in the UK. See, I told you. So they could take credit for that. Strange 2019, how you doing? Says I hope my brothers and sisters do not feed into bone spur narrative. So you talking about Trump there. Ross says, is Argentinian beef safe? No FDA, USDA, etc. How do we know if the meat is filled with strange vaccines, diseases, etc.? I don't know, which is probably why we shouldn't be eating it. If you have no knowledge of what you're eating, don't eat it. Like to say in the nation, keep your mouth out of other people's kitchen, right? And definitely have knowledge of what are you putting in your body. But yeah, I wouldn't trust it. Team Truth, how you doing? Says Salama sis. He says you're standing on the shoulders of those that came before you, such as your parents, hence the wisdom you have. Keep shining. Well, yes, that is absolutely true. I don't think I was born smart per se. Like again, that's a very smart has levels to it, right? Because one day you might have a conversation with me. You might say, yeah, she is dumb as a box of rocks. And that's okay too. But yes, Just Sees, how you doing? Says rice and gravy is delicious. Yeah, it is. Kawai, help us say that right. How you doing? Says food stamps should be for elderly and disabled, and people who are down on their luck. It's okay for people get down on their luck sometimes, and they need a little help. We should be all right with that. Now, I know the other side of that is the people who's like, well, I've been down on my luck for like 10, 15 years. It's like, still. So yeah. David Shelton, did I say hi to you? If not, hello. The Big Steel, how you doing? Says buy a pack of beans. Says lima beans from the store, cook some, plant some to start a cheap, quick garden, even grow indoors. Yeah, you can do that. Me personally, I like navy beans because via that of the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to be exact. I don't have it here with me. It's over there on my bookshelf, but How to Eat to Live, volumes 1 and 2 talk a lot about the navy bean and it being very nutritious and all of that. So I like navy beans. I'll be honest with you, beans don't like me, but it's okay. I guess we'll have to learn to like each other. But yeah, you could do all of that. I think I got to the bottom. Margie, how you doing? You say you speaking facts. Well, thank you. SSD, how you doing? It says nice. Mo Cancer says can't wait for cold time. Me either, because I used to be a summertime girl when I was younger, but the summertime ain't summertime no more. It's really hot, so I'm a winter person. I like to dress up and put on my heavy coats and boots and all of that to walk around the house because I don't really go outside much. But no, for real. Yeah, I like winter and I cannot wait for us to get more of it. Ambrose Brown, how you doing? Says next year, everyone needs to vote independent. No Republicans or Democrats should get their House seat back unless they are for reparations and willing to forgo any bills that doesn't include it. I totally agree with you. It's time that we stand on business. And speaking of standing on business, I got to get on out of here and allow for the next creators stuff to come up. So with that, I will be back here tomorrow. As I said, I will be here 3 days a week now. So Thursday is that day. And we're going to finish our conversations off here with a boycott. that's supposed to be happening. And I'm going to show y'all a video of me 10 years ago. Listen, I'm still fine. Okay. I'm just kidding. But I was, I looked a lot different 10 years ago. Well, not really. I'll let y'all be the judge of that. But I'm going to show y'all a video of myself and along with some other things of me being about that life, right? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And it kind of went viral and everything like that. And it kind of started off my internet fame. Is that even a thing? Internet fame. So yeah, we're going to have another good conversation. So I love and appreciate every last one of y'all for being here with me, having this conversation. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, your mama, Obama, whoever. Tell everybody about us and tell them about the app that we have here that we have created just for you. Let's see. Rand, I said hi to your Rands, but I said again, Jesse D, Light, and I think I've seen everybody. If I have not seen you and did not say your name, don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to me being old. Peace.